My Sister and the Cursed Revealing Outfit. After 3 months of living abroad, my sister, Jade, returned home determined to become a hot girl specializing in showing off local brands. Every day, she would wear eyesore outfits everywhere, showing them off. In the name of freedom of dress, she mocked me, calling me a country bumpkin with a diaper for a brain. The day the assailant broke into our house, she locked me outside. I died tragically by his knife. And she used the video of my demise to gain views, to attract attention. Opening my eyes again, I had reincarnated back to the very day my sister returned home. I decided to set a divine trap for this wrongdoer, waiting for her to fall into the net. Snow, local aesthetics have truly ruined you. My sister Jade shook her head, her delicate brows furrowed. What on earth are you wearing? Do you have water on the brain? She looked me up and down, a face full of displeasure. I pulled down the zipper of my uniform a little, casually readjusting my backpack on my shoulder. It's just a uniform. You used to wear one too, back in the day. Ugly, truly too ugly. Do you even know what uniforms abroad look like? Girls wear short skirts, boys wear suits. That's high-class aesthetics. She began to immerse herself in wonderful memories, just like in my previous life, but I still couldn't bring myself to look at her directly. Her way of dressing made me both embarrassed and afraid. It was as if that outfit was on my asterisk body. A feeling of humiliation flooded my mind. What kind of fashion style was this anyway? Her whole body was covered in self-cut holes. Sensitive parts were blatantly exposed. Sister, did you accidentally buy the wrong size for this outfit? I averted my gaze, looking down at my own hands, my face burning red. From the corner of my eye, I saw my sister's jaw drop in surprise. Snow, you're so countrified. How can you possibly think my free-spirited, tight-fitting outfit is the wrong size? Saying this, she looked down, admiring herself, gently stroking her body with both hands. Do you feel it's shameful for me to display my body? I said nothing, but yes, I felt very ashamed. HMPH. It seems you'll never understand that knowing how to attract others' gazes will make you a queen admired by thousands. You need to learn this progressive mindset from me. Don't be so old-fashioned and ignorant. I pouted, showing contempt for her words. She turned around angrily, intending to leave. Where are you going? Father told me to keep an eye on you, not to let you go out and bring shame. My sister stopped, turning back to look at me with a patronizing gaze. I'm going to enjoy the gift nature bestowed upon humanity. Sunbathing, what else? There's nowhere to sunbathe in the apartment complex, is there? Isn't there an empty courtyard downstairs? The sun there is beautiful. I couldn't hold her back, and had to endure more insults, so I resolutely let her go out and find her own doom. She spread a large beach towel in the middle of the small square of the apartment complex, a place where elderly people and children usually strolled. Now, my sister occupied the central area, her body exposed without a single detail spared before everyone's eyes. Several elderly people were so scared they hastily turned their wheelchairs and sped away from the scene. A few children pointed at her, giggling and calling her naked, naked. My sister's eyes widened, and she muttered, "Such rude country bumpkins, daring to point fingers at others." Finally, a neighbor, Auntie Me, couldn't stand it anymore and stepped forward to intervene. "Little Jade, you're an innocent girl. Dressing like this isn't proper at all. It's so embarrassing." As soon as my sister heard Auntie Me criticizing her, she rested one hand on her head, striking a very flamboyant pose. "Auntie Me, don't be jealous of my youth just because you're old. My body is mine, I dress freely, you can't control it." Auntie Me was so angry she stamped her foot. You're truly disgusting." "You're the disgusting one. Is there any part of my body that you don't have? Even if you do, you shouldn't show it to others." "Why is that? Old and ugly, of course you wouldn't dare to show anyone. I'm in the prime of my youth, so of course I should let everyone admire my body." My sister lay back down, closing her eyes to enjoy her sunbath. Other elderly people, disgusted, also started to criticize her. "Little Jade, you can control yourself, but you can't stop ill-intentioned individuals from getting dark ideas." My sister, still indifferent, kept her eyes closed and said, "Even bad people wouldn't dare to harm someone as wonderful as me, right? Everyone is just overthinking." Seeing they couldn't win the argument, they could only stand far away and watch. Among the crowd, whispers were inevitable. My sister heard them and retorted in an even louder voice, "Go and broaden your horizons, you country bumpkins." Just then, I received a message from my best friend, Lisa. "Snow, my mom came home furious. She cut all my lady clothes to shreds." "Why? What will you wear for yoga after this?" "Don't even mention it. My mom made me wear flared pants. It's all your sister's fault. My mom said young girls wearing those clothes are corrupting good customs and traditions, telling me to be mindful of myself from now on." I hung up the phone, lifted my head, and continued to watch my sister through the window not far away. Her so-called blatant freedom of dress wasn't wrong in itself, but she had forgotten that freedom is always built on mutual respect and not affecting others. Her freedom showed a lack of respect for others. She made us feel like having eyes was a sin. Finally, someone couldn't stand it anymore and called the police. The police arrived at the scene and immediately turned their faces away, not wanting to look. After failing to communicate, they called 2 female officers. The 2 female officers, though speaking to my sister, continuously avoided her gaze. "Miss, dressing provocatively in public can be considered a violation of the law." My sister heard the female officer say this, pouted, and deliberately put on a pitiful expression. "Oh, then tell me, what law did I break?" The female officer accidentally saw my sister's body, her face blushed, and she stated firmly, "Any act of public nudity can be considered public indecency." My sister didn't back down, changing to another pose. She spread her legs on the towel, hands braced behind her, swinging her pale white legs. "But I've covered everything. I didn't intentionally expose myself. Any exposed parts were accidental." The female officer shook her head helplessly. "Miss, we should still consider the feelings of others. There are many children and elderly people in this neighborhood. They might not be able to tolerate it." My sister stood up, bracing herself with both hands. She stood perfectly straight, looking exactly like a plastic mannequin in a display case. "Whoever can't stand it can go hide themselves." No sooner had the words left her mouth than someone suddenly rushed forward, swinging his hand and delivering a resounding slap. My sister spun around on the spot. Someone in the crowd suddenly cheered, "Oh ho, the Swan Ballet has begun." Immediately after, the crowd of onlookers burst out laughing heartily. My sister lost all face, just about to loudly argue with the newcomer, when she collected herself and realized it was father. "Have you gone mad? Do you have any shame left? Get home now." "Well hit," Auntie Me shouted loudly. Then the crowd erupted in enthusiastic applause. Everyone else joined in, shouting, "Deserves to be hit. That's right, deserves to be hit. A girl like this needs a good beating." My sister stamped her foot, turning to leave. Father picked up the beach towel and threw it at her. "It's all because your mother raised a good girl into this state." My mother was very beautiful, my sister was also very beautiful, and the 2 of them had a resemblance in their very bones. Mother complained father couldn't give her a celebrity-like life, so she proposed divorce last year. She took my sister, leaving me with father and telling me not to disturb her. My parents divided their assets, each getting a house. Mother sold her house, took my sister abroad, and squandered money for 3 months. A house in a small city wasn't worth much, and living expenses abroad were high. My mother watched videos every day, believing that abroad she would surely be sought after like a star. The 2 of them would definitely find a rich Western husband, transforming into phoenixes in one step. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. Besides spending all the money they brought, they gained nothing. After returning home, they dejectedly came to live at father's house. Father felt responsible for my sister, determined to re-educate her so she could retake her university entrance exams. But my sister and mother secretly schemed how to trick father out of his house, sell it, and use the money to continue enjoying life abroad, searching for their dream Western husband. "Snow," father slammed the security door shut, behind which were violent banging sounds. "Father doesn't oppose you pursuing a good life, but you cannot follow your mother's path." Mother looked up at father, then subtly signaled my sister with a glance. She stepped forward and pulled father's sleeve. "Don't be angry anymore. It was all my fault before, not raising Jade well. Remarry me, I promise I'll raise her properly." Look at what you're wearing. Freedom of dress requires politeness as a prerequisite, but now you've affected others. Where am I being excessive? Am I running around naked? These provincial towns are really backward. I don't see anything wrong with provincial towns. All my friends are positive, optimistic, full of aspirations, and pursuing life. I retorted to my sister. I hated the way she always criticized. Your friends, at most, they only dare to wear tight leggings. Is anyone as free and daring as I am? Father grabbed a rolling pin and hit my sister's back with it. Get in there and study with your sister. Pass your university entrance exams for me. As long as you pass, I'll never bother you again. My sister reluctantly went to tutoring with me at the tutor's house. If it were at home, she probably would have run away before class even started. After class, I clutched my backpack strap, murmuring important knowledge as I walked through a small alley. Hey, little sister, come hang out with me for a bit. Suddenly, a strange man stood blocking my path. I collected myself and realized it was the thug who had stabbed me to death in my previous life. I trembled with fear, curled up my legs to run, but his speed was faster. He lunged forward and grabbed my school bag. Little sister, see if this is your sister. He held his phone in front of my face. In the video, my sister Jade was dressed provocatively, dancing in an extremely seductive manner. Your sister is so flirtatious, you must not be far behind, huh? Can't find your sister to play with, you can play with me. Help! Before I could scream, his large hand clamped over my mouth. He pinned me to the ground, my struggles useless. Several resounding slaps made my mouth taste metallic. My clothes were torn to shreds by him, shame and indignation intertwined and choked my chest. Stop! Several angry shouts from strangers rang out just in time. The thug saw people coming and fled. Several men and women helped me up from the ground. After confirming I was okay, they intended to take me home. Just then, my sister Jade leisurely walked out from a small, low warehouse in the alley. She turned off her phone, muttering with a displeased expression, "If I had recorded the whole process, how much money would I have made? This is a real documentary." She turned to face them, smiling. "You don't need to bother. I can take my sister home myself." Little sister, is this your sister? I looked at her coldly and nodded. All right, then we'll leave her to her sister. We're going now, please be sure to be careful. Yes, yes, little sister, don't walk alone in deserted alleys anymore. After saying that, they left. My sister and I glared at each other angrily. You saw it, why didn't you come out and save me? My chest heaved with anger. Do you know I recorded the whole thing? How much money can this kind of video sell for? She looked at me with surprise. Money, money, you only care about money. If you weren't so promiscuous, this thug wouldn't have even noticed me. I cried loudly, so angry I stomped my foot. My sister's mouth opened even wider. What do you have to cry about? Isn't making money from videos more important than your chastity? My heart felt like it stopped beating. Before, I only thought my sister was overly infatuated with foreign culture. I never imagined her essence was so twisted in her moral values. She stepped closer to me. Don't think that having a man desire you proves you have charm. You're just riding on my coattails, understand? In your bones, you're just a stinky country bumpkin. I'm the little enchantress men crave. Today, you were desired by someone, you should feel happy about that. Understand? That flame of desire should have ignited on me. So, in my previous life, she had also hidden behind the security door, secretly watching the outdoor surveillance camera. She had also called that bloody scene a documentary. My death had exchanged for a large sum of money. This time, this exact point in my previous life was the day the thug came to our house. No, something was about to happen at home. Father was still there. I couldn't bring any danger. I curled up my legs and ran home, but it was still too late. When I got home, Father was lying in a pool of blood by the door. The security door was shut, the thug was gone. I trembled as I called 911 and the police. Father still had a faint breath. The paramedics rushed in. As they carried Father down the hallway, our door creaked open. Mother peeked her head out and whispered, "Is the danger over? Can I come out now?" My sister suddenly rushed forward. "Did you record it? Did you get it all?" I used all my strength to slap her face. "Beast, my father is in a coma. The doctor said he doesn't know when he'll wake up." My sister and mother pushed the door open and walked in. The doctor hadn't finished speaking, he continued, "But there's something very strange." I immediately stopped him. "Thank you, doctor. If we need anything, I'll find you later." The doctor hesitated, could only nod and left. My sister was still dressed in her usual eyesore manner. She walked to father's side, extended a hand to check for breath at his nose. "Not dead yet?" I painfully jumped up. She fearfully hid behind mother. "Not dead is good, not dead is good." Mother smiled and waved her hand. I always felt those two, mother and daughter, were up to no good. My sister tugged at her shirt, smugly opening her mouth. "The thug was caught. It's that guy who drooled over me." "Then let him die. Put him in jail, make him pay with his life." Large tears streamed down my face. Looking at father on the hospital bed, I was filled with rage. Mother, however, indifferently waved her hand. "Oh, come on, he's not dead, is he? Besides, that thug is quite pitiful, he has a mental illness." My sister swayed her head, looking utterly hateful. Father on the hospital bed trembled slightly, but she continued, "Mentally ill people don't want to be like that either. Here, his family came to reconcile." I spun around, glaring at her. "Reconcile what?" "It's just hoping we can sign a waiver, so that lunatic won't have to go to jail." "Are you crazy? Father is in this state, and you want to sign a waiver?" "Their family has money, a lot of money. Father is like this, wouldn't it be better for us to take some money?" "I won't sign it." "Jade, don't be so unreasonable. Only you and I are direct relatives, my signature alone is enough. I'll give you half an hour. If you don't come back, I'll sign it myself." With that, those two beasts left the hospital room. I wiped away my tears, unconsciously letting out a laugh. Father sighed deeply, muttering, "Damn it." Yes, it was all prearranged by father and me. I had reincarnated back to the very day my sister and mother returned home. I found father and told him I had reincarnated. Father only laughed and said I like to imagine things. But I calmly said, "If you don't believe me, you can wait and see. Mother and sister will be here this afternoon." Father laughed even louder. "Silly girl, they went abroad to enjoy themselves, why would they come back?" I maintained a cold expression. "They spent all their money, got nothing, so they came back to drain father dry again." Father wiped away a tear from laughing, then nodded. "All right, if that's truly the case, I'll believe you." They really did come back. Father watched in astonishment as mother coyly demanded to remarry. My sister bowed her head, playing with her fingers, and asked, "Father, is my room still there?" My father completely believed me. He asked me for details about everything that happened in my previous life. He told me, "The day the thug comes home, you absolutely must not return. If something must happen, let father bear it." He always said my sister was also his daughter. He had a duty to educate her. But some people are born as vengeful enemies, inherently malicious. They don't deserve that obligation. That day, we didn't expect the thug to come during the daytime. Although father had already worn a stab-proof vest inside his jacket, his arm and thigh were still stabbed and injured. He said he still had one last ray of hope for my sister, wanting to see if she had any pity for this father. So, we put on an act of being in a coma, only narrowly avoiding discovery by the doctor. I looked at my father, whose face was distorted with anger, and paradoxically found it a little funny. "Father, don't be angry anymore. The angrier you get, the more it hurts." "Hurts? Right now, my head is buzzing. I can't feel any pain at all." "Oh, really? Then I'll tell the doctor to remove your pain pump, shall I?" "You wouldn't dare. You wretched girl, hurry up and go monitor those two wretched women." As I passed the nurse's station, I gently tapped the counter. "Nurse, is my father awake yet?" Actually, the doctor's diagnosis wasn't wrong. My father wasn't seriously injured. He could have endured a few more stabs. It's just that the doctor was very puzzled why my father had already been wearing a stab-proof vest and why someone not seriously injured would be in a coma. He couldn't figure it out. As soon as I entered the door, I saw my sister put down her pen. She looked at me, pretending to be surprised. "Oh dear, you're late. Look, it's been 31 minutes, we only agreed on half an hour." I looked at her signature on the waiver, my brows furrowed tightly. She didn't care about my feelings at all. "The hospital just called. Father is awake, he's fine. Why do we need to put someone in jail? We should forgive if we can." I really wanted to ask her, what right did she have to speak so righteously on behalf of others? But words unrelated to the plan couldn't be spoken too much. I looked up, just meeting the eyes of the thug's family. The young man was his younger brother, Ethan, with bright eyes and handsome features. He nodded at me. My sister saw this and pushed me. "What are you looking at? Do you have charm like me?" Then she immediately puffed out her chest and smiled brightly at Ethan. "Ethan, you don't know, my sister absolutely refused to sign the waiver. She just wanted to kill your brother." Ethan smiled, looking her up and down. "She's not as generous as you. Why make it difficult for my brother? If he has to go to jail, you'd surely be heartbroken, wouldn't you?" My sister tentatively placed a hand on his chest. He understood immediately, taking her hand. "The doctor said it's no wonder my brother was so hasty. Any man in that situation would probably go crazy." I clenched my hands, extremely nervous. Wasn't she already hooked? Actually, when I first approached Ethan, I was afraid that my sister, with her mind full of foreign husbands, wouldn't even pay attention to him. But in the end, I underestimated the power of money. After the Ethan family left, my sister was excitedly playing with her phone, constantly shouting in the house. "The Ethan family is so rich. Oh my God, Mother, did you see the way he looked at me? Like he wanted to devour me. If I marry him, I can go to any country I want, live anywhere I want." Her excited expression made me think she was already Mrs. Ethan. Mother was also overjoyed. "My dear, if you truly become a couple with him, don't forget Mother later." In my earbud, I heard heavy breathing. I looked at my phone, the battery was at 5%, I quietly hung up. Father's message immediately came through. "Who told you to hang up? I wanted to listen more, I'm dying of anger. Let me listen." I quickly messaged Father back. "Oh, Father, don't listen anymore and you'll have a brain hemorrhage." In the following days, my sister and Ethan indeed progressed smoothly, inseparable. Very quickly, they were preparing for their engagement. My sister rushed to the hospital to cause a scene, frantically demanding Father prepare a generous dowry for her. Father, with a displeased expression, questioned her, "Where is the compensation money the Ethan family gave after receiving the waiver?" Her eyes began to dart around. "Compensation money? What compensation money? You signed the waiver when I was in a coma. The money must have been transferred to your account already." "Well, if it was transferred to my account, then it's my money, isn't it? I signed the waiver. If I hadn't decided, that money wouldn't exist." Father tiredly leaned against his pillow, shaking his head. "Jade, the most foolish decision I ever made in my life was giving birth to you." My sister immediately scowled. "Father, why are you so stingy? Do you want this paltry sum too? I earned this with my own abilities." Father gave a bitter smile. "Your sister still has to go to university, she still needs money. Didn't my company also help me claim accident insurance compensation? Besides, I also have a salary. Why must you covet my money?" Father finally gave up. "All right, I don't need that money anymore. Do you want to sever our father-daughter relationship?" My sister's eyes darted around, considering. "If I sever our father-daughter relationship, when you're old, you won't come to me for care, won't ask me for money, right?" Father nodded. A tear rolled down from the corner of his eye. My sister happily clapped her hands. "Good, I agree." Father watched my sister leave the hospital room, his heart trembling repeatedly. "I know you're in a lot of pain." I held his hand tightly, not knowing what to say. "Snow, what happens next?" Father weakly opened his mouth. He didn't know my plan, nor did he know that Ethan and I had actually arranged everything. "Next, perhaps she will suffer so much she won't want to live, but compared to my death in the previous life, these things are nothing." After reincarnating, I searched everywhere online for information about the thug, finally tracing his background. He was the eldest son of Ethan's father, the richest man in the area, named Caleb. The two brothers had fought as children. The elder brother was pushed down by the younger brother, hitting his head on a rock. The younger brother was kicked in a sensitive spot by the elder brother. There was a rumor in their circles that the eldest son of the Yi family was mentally impaired, and the second son was a eunuch. But the Yi family kept the news very quiet. Few knew, unless they intentionally investigated, no one would know these secrets. I found Ethan and went straight to the point. "Your brother has disappeared again, hasn't he?" He was startled for a moment, then frowned. "Little girl, what do you want?" I pouted. "Anyway, I don't want money. I want my sister to disappear from my father's and my lives." Ethan laughed. "How does that concern me?" "It does concern you. I can lure your brother out, then give you a reason to send him to a mental hospital." Ethan's smile faded, his brows furrowing tightly. I continued to persuade him, moreover, doesn't your family still want an heir? He heard me say this and started to look flustered. I pouted. I'm afraid you can't, can you? Your brother is willing, but no girl will agree. Ethan understood my intentions. He thought for a long time, then nodded. You are very smart. Kill two birds with one stone. I didn't want to, but the fate of a wrongdoer deserves to be like this. And so, we designed a fated match. My sister thought she was marrying Ethan to be a young mistress, but she didn't know that the person waiting for her was her husband's brother. My sister and Ethan's wedding went smoothly. A week after the wedding, there was no news of her at all. Father had been discharged from the hospital, resting at home, and mother was driven away by him. He said he didn't want to spend the rest of his life with a venomous woman. Mother spat, mocking father for being useless. Who would want to spend the rest of their life with you? My eldest daughter has a bright future, marrying into a rich family. You just hug your books and live your life with your foolish second daughter. A week later, my sister reappeared. She was dressed simply, no longer the flashy look from before, clearly showing the rich family's strict management. My sister seemed to be in a lot of pain, carefully sitting on the sofa, but she still held her head high, despising everything in the house. Snow, you still haven't taken your university entrance exams? I was reading a message Ethan sent me while listening to my sister babble. Not for a long time, still half a year. HMPH, studying is the most useless thing. In the end, don't you still envy people like me, marrying into a rich family early? Message from Ethan, your brother gave your sister a big wedding night gift. He told her she could call the police, but she herself didn't want to. Sister, do you know how happy I am now? My husband loves me, and the whole family spoils me. Sister, but you look rather poor, not at all like someone from a rich family. What do you know, little sister? The richer you are, the more humble you must be. Message from Ethan, I told your sister that we are only husband and wife in name. In reality, she is my sister-in-law. If she gives birth to a child, she will be given 1 million yuan, otherwise my family will only ensure she is well-fed and clothed. Sister, then can you lend me some money? Father needs to go for physical therapy. We don't have any spare money. My sister trembled. Borrow money? Sister, you've already severed your father-daughter relationship with him. Message from Ethan, your sister is tormented, screaming every night. She says you're prettier than her and wants to trick you into coming here to be my brother's wife to beg him to spare her. Sister, if you've already cut ties, why are you still coming back here? My sister cleared her throat. Although I've severed my relationship with father, you and I are still blood sisters, aren't we? I want to take you with me to become a rich madam. Just then, mother rushed in, joyfully pouncing on my sister. Jade, you're a rich madam now? Save mother. Mother accidentally fell into gambling, now she's deeply in debt. Give mother some money so she can get by. My sister cried out in pain. Mother accidentally rolled up her sleeve. My sister's body was covered in bruises, not a single spot unharmed. You're being abused. My sister glared at me, her face burning. What do you know? My husband is just playful. Yes, Jade, your husband is truly sophisticated, truly rich. Quickly, give mother some money, save mother. My sister irritably pushed mother away. Get out, get far away, I don't have money for you. I bit my lip, not daring to laugh out loud. Snow, don't be so unreasonable. With your looks, you'll never marry rich in your life. Marrying into this family, I'm helping you take a step up to heaven. No, sister, I don't like going to heaven. I feel fine on the ground. I'll give you 1 day to think about it. After that, I won't wait. After my sister left, mother followed her like a tail, clinging to her and demanding money. The moment the big door closed, my sister and I each went our separate ways. For a long time, we heard no news of my sister. Father's and my lives were very peaceful, only occasionally receiving 1 or 2 messages from Ethan. My sister, for money, was very obedient, constantly begging, hoping to get pregnant quickly, hoping to leave the Yi family quickly. I heard my sister had gotten pregnant. She sent me countless messages, boasting about becoming a woman admired by thousands, about to take the money and permanently settle abroad. I replied with a single congratulatory message and never paid attention to her again. The university entrance exams went very smoothly. I got into my desired university. In the second month after finishing military training, Father called. He said my sister had given birth and hoped we would go visit her. She missed her family very much. I was curious to know how she was now, and even more curious about my niece or nephew. In the hospital room, my sister's face was pale, gaunt, and weak. As soon as I entered the door, she wailed. "Why didn't you marry into the Yi family with me? Why did you leave me alone there to suffer? You cruel woman, only thinking about yourself going to university happily, not caring about how your sister lives or dies." She acted like a madwoman, grabbing everything she could to throw at me, but her strength was too weak, unable to touch me at all. Blood continuously seeped from my sister. Even having just given birth a few days ago, it shouldn't be so tragic. She wailed, hoarse-throated, recounting all she had endured. It turned out Caleb had another episode. Just after she gave birth, he rushed into her private hospital room. He locked the door, saying he needed to teach his wife a good lesson. Then he beat her savagely, muttering while assaulting her, "My property, no one is allowed to touch it later." My sister passed out from the pain. The nurse had called the police, but her husband in name, Ethan, signed a waiver. My sister screamed, "What right do you have to sign a waiver? I want him in prison." "Put him in prison." Ethan calmly said, "Years ago, didn't you also sign a waiver on behalf of your father like that?" My sister froze. She slowly shook her head, muttering, "Father, I want to find father." Ethan continued, "I can help you call the police, but the 1 million yuan cannot be given to you." My sister suddenly shrieked, "No, don't call the police. Waiver, waiver, I'll waive it for him." She clutched Ethan's sleeve, desperately pleading, "My child is born, give me the money, give me 1 million and I'll get out. I'll go far away. I don't need the baby, I'll definitely leave it to you all." Ethan gently pushed her hand away, smiling mildly. "Wait a moment. Once the DNA test results are in, we will definitely give you the money." My sister cried until she passed out. When she woke up, the first thing she demanded was to see father and me. "Father, take me home, take me home." My father swallowed, his Adam's apple moving up and down. "Have you forgot? We've severed our father-daughter relationship. Moreover, how can an ordinary person like father contend with the powerful Yi family? Snow, you take me. You're a university student, you're capable now, you take me." I sighed. "Sister, if you hadn't signed that waiver for Caleb to go to prison in the first place, would this day have happened?" My sister's body stiffened. She said she had a very long dream. In the dream, the person Caleb stabbed critically outside the door wasn't father, but me. She said I was tragic, my whole body covered in wounds, but even with my face pale in a pool of blood, I still wasn't as captivating as she was. She said she posted my video online. Everyone pitied her because she had lost her beloved sister, while the evil culprit roamed free. She said everyone believed her that I liked to imitate her too much. I envied her, so to prove my charm, I paid with my life. It was all my own doing. She laughed foolishly, staring at the white wall. That dream was beautiful. I took the money I earned online and went abroad to enjoy myself. "And what about me in your dream?" I asked, a bitter taste in my mouth. She looked up at me as if to suck my blood, then waved her hand. "Some people are born to be supporting characters. Like you can be a backdrop for me. That's already showing your full value. You should feel happy about that." My heart clenched, a sharp pain. My sister felt a sharp pain. She wanted to clutch her chest, but the more she hugged, the more it hurt. I shook my head. How regrettable. "You can only have your way in your dreams." She turned to glare at me. "You truly are useless, couldn't save your own sister. You're even more useless, couldn't save yourself." The hospital room door was kicked open. Caleb, face flushed red, burst in, waving a fruit knife. "Who dares touch my woman? Who dares? She's mine. Who dares contend with me? I'll beat them to death." My sister's eyes were full of horror, reaching towards me, but father had already pulled me out of the room. Outside the room, someone loudly shouted, "Call the police. Quickly call the police." Caleb was sent to a mental hospital, and with him was my sister. Ethan said, "The baby my sister gave birth to is indeed of the Yi family. They will care for and raise it to be successful." Father and I visited my sister at the mental hospital. She looked happier than before, only her patient clothes had 3 holes cut in strategic places. "Sexy, right?" She puffed out her chest, saying to me. Then she took a secret paper from her pocket and gave it to me. I smiled and nodded. "All right, I wish you well." My sister pouted. "You're jealous of me, but your jealousy is useless. I'm not playing with you." I linked arms with father and left the mental hospital. From behind came an angry roar. Wife, where's my wife? It's Caleb, who dares touch my wife? Father and I stood there watching for a long time. My sister's 1 million yuan paper was snatched by Caleb. He waved the paper, furiously yelling, "Who gave it? Who wants to buy my wife?" Medical staff immediately rushed to restrain all the agitated patients. Father said mother had sought him out several times for money. One day she'd say she was sick, the next she'd say she was being hunted, and even threatened to come to my school. I linked arms with father. "So, did you give her money?" Father smiled and shook his head. "No, where would father get money? He told her to find her eldest daughter."